New York City in the 1980s was defined by soaring ambition, but land was scarce and unbelievably expensive. In 1982, a group of architects proposed a radical solution for the financial district. Forget ground level. Instead, they designed a massive, needle-like tower that would ignore the street grid and build a new city 2,000 feet in the air. This is the story of the Ariel Tower, the parasitic superstructure that planned to devour Manhattan's sky. The concept came from the Downtown Athletic Club and was designed to solve the two biggest problems in Manhattan: land cost and congestion. The solution was a vertical colonization. The main structure was not a traditional building, but a colossal 2,000-foot steel tripod, braced by a central spire. The main living and working spaces were located on 6 enormous platforms, or sky cities, stacked vertically between 800 and 1,800 feet. Each platform was roughly the size of a city block and was designed to be its own self-contained neighborhood, complete with offices, luxury condos, shops, and even green parks on the roof. Access was the key innovation. Forget slow, traditional elevators. The plan called for Maglev trains, essentially giant horizontal elevators that would shuttle people from nearby transit hubs and then shoot them vertically up the central spire at breakneck speeds, achieving the 1,800-foot ascent in just a minute. In a city that had run out of ground to build on, the Ariel Tower was a radical claim. The most valuable real estate was simply above the clouds. The engineers immediately faced a fundamental problem: the wind load. At 2,000 feet, the platforms would face immense wind pressure. While the tripod structure was inherently strong, the design required massive vibration dampers to prevent the sky cities from becoming dangerously prone to sway. Then came the logistical nightmare. The plan hinged on the idea that the Ariel Tower was a parasitic structure, independent of the ground city. But to anchor a steel tripod that wide, the architects would have had to acquire and demolish several key properties in the financial district, negating the original claim of building over the city. The Maglev system was revolutionary, but prohibitively expensive and unproven for vertical passenger use at that speed and scale. Furthermore, the sheer volume of traffic, potentially 100,000 commuters a day, required more than just a few elevators. It needed an entire new transit hub built on the ground, adding immense cost and friction. As the cost estimates ballooned from $1 billion well into the tens of billions of dollars, and the list of property owners to sue grew longer, the visionary project began to collapse under its own complexity. By the late 1980s, the Ariel Tower became less of a design proposal and more of a paper manifesto. The technical challenges were solvable, but the economic and political challenges were insurmountable. Convincing New York's notoriously aggressive real estate developers and property owners to accept a structure hovering over their buildings was a non-starter. Insurance companies, nervous about the maglev speed and the platform's sway, refused to offer coverage. Investors, seeing the decade-long legal battle before even laying a single foundational girder, pulled back. The final blow came not from a single rejection, but from the slow, agonizing death by 1,000 logistical cuts. The Ariel Tower was quietly shelved, a victim of its own audacity and the brutal realities of New York City real estate law. Instead of building a city above the city, the only thing that got built in the subsequent decades were more traditional, though equally massive towers. The Ariel Tower stands as an audacious footnote in the history of vertical urbanism. It wasn't intended to be the tallest residential building, but rather the first parasitic sky city, a true aerial metropolis. While the project never launched, it planted a seed, the idea that a dense city must eventually look to its untapped vertical resources. And though New York skyscrapers remained firmly rooted to the earth, The dream of building a city above the clouds continues to define architectural ambition. This was Unbuilt Visions, the architecture that never was.